What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I was thinking to myself, I came home for the weekend and I was thinking, what's a good, video I can get up, just to keep the content rolling while we're all waiting for spring to come, especially after that brutal cold front. If you live in New England, like, that was brutal. Like, there were places getting up to like negative hundreds, like in New Hampshire. Luckily, it only was like negative 40 here with the wind chill, so it could be worse, I guess. But I decided what to do was go through my top favorite soft plastics for bass of all time. And now my criteria for this is it's something where if I go out in November, things are starting to slow down. If I throw these, I'll still get a bite. Of course, I love to experiment like in the spring with different stuff, but sometimes it's good to just, get one fish in the boat and then, start, playing around. So at number 5, I'm gonna have to go with the Pro Series X-Zone lures, their Adrenaline Craws. I'm not the biggest fan of craws, not because they're not good, but just because I really only use them as trailers, and the waters I fish around here have a lot of grass. So if you're throwing jigs around, you're just gonna bring up grass carpets. But that being said, when I do get into a place where I can throw a jig, I always use these Adrenaline Claws as my trailer. Great material, they're solid. They got a lot of salt in them. They have a really good smell that that this brand uses. I find it very effective. And here's just a quick example. These are like my favorite type of jigs to throw. The 1/4 ounce flipping jigs. As far as grass carpets go, they bring up the least amount of grass. But yeah, I just love throwing them on as trailers. Not the biggest craw guy, and I know like Guggen's got craws and all these other brands that are really good, but those are more expensive brands. I found that these are cheaper. I've gotten a ton of them in mystery tackle boxes too. So I have a good stock of them, which is great. But yeah, that's number 5. Only craw on the list, just because I don't really use them that much. But at number 4, and I love these, but they're a little basic. It's the Biospawn Exo Sticks. Of all time, it's probably my favorite lure just to use because, you wacky rig any Senko and you're gonna get bites. But there's something about the quality with the Biospawn Exo Sticks, and just in general, Biospawn lures are, I think, some of the best quality lures out there. I love them. I think they have great detail, great color, and they also have a really good scent to them. I think that's a big part of it. So I love throwing these things 2 ways. One, the wacky rig. That's when day's slow, you got to go wacky rig. Everyone knows. Day is slow, you're throwing on a wacky rig. But also, what I found really effective with the Biospawn in particular is Texas rigging them. And I don't know what it is. I'm guessing it's because the tail gets thin and then back up thicker at the top, that when it's sitting down like that, the tail moves a little bit more. Some Senkos it kind of just sits dead stick, and that works because if you're hopping it along. But, like I said, November, things are slowing down. You throw this in, just any amount of action will get that bite. And I've found that these, along with the smell, always great colors, very high durability. I've caught I've had one Exo Stick last like 6 to 7 fish before, which is crazy for a Senko because, especially when you wacky rig them, straight to the middle, they get torn up a bit, a lot of weight being pulled down on them, it gets loose, and then eventually it splits in half. It happens all the time. That's why Senkos are usually pretty cheap, But the durability on the Exo Sticks are great. Love them. Unmatched, in my opinion. But yeah, so next up on the list, we have the 10,000 Fish Sakoshi Bug. And these things I use to Ned rig. I use these with Ned rigs. I think that's really the only way you would use them, just because there's no real other good way to rig them. But these things, if you've seen the ads, like extremely stretchy, durable, will last Also, great movement. When you got that Ned rig up, you got, the unevenness on the top, so it's swaying a little bit in the water, hopping along, got tentacles on there. It's just got a lot of action that triggers bites. And when you're, Ned rig fishing, it's all about the little details because, you don't fish Ned rigs really fast. At least I don't. Some people do. I prefer to just fish them slow. So when you're fishing them slow and you got just that little bit of action, November, cold, getting into the winter season, throw one of these things on, just enough movement, and you'll get bites. Also, the colors on them are always great. These ones in particular are good. I don't know what color these are. They're Blue Craw. They're just great. I think they're great quality. The stretchiness is great. They last lots of fish, which is what you want with the Ned rig. You want to just throw them on, chuck them, and just, even if they're dinks, anything, when it's getting cold out there, you just want to catch fish so that you at least didn't waste your time. But yeah, that's number 3. So, number 2, also going along with the theme of the Ned rig, I just recently fell in love with the Ned rig. I used them a lot this fall. Never really used them before that. I didn't get to record me using them that much. But when I was using them, I was catching like anything that was in the pond. So I know this is for bass fishing, but just about anything goes. But what I like to use the most for Ned rigging are the Googan Squad rattling Neds. They have that little rattle tube in one end. Makes just enough sound. Good movement. Very, very durable. Soft plastic, and all the colors they come in are great, whatever you want to use, depending on, water clarity and whatnot. Great durability, looks great in the water. It catches fish. The sound attracts the fish, just like anything with like crankbaits and whatnot, that have those little beads inside of them, they attract the fish. That's all that matters. It attracts the fish, triggers the bite. So, when things are really slow, maybe not the clearest water, you need a noise. That's all. It's game over if you're using some of the Googan Squad rattling nets. Personally, my favorite Ned rig soft plastic you can go to. Obviously, love the Sakoshi bugs. That's why they're on the list. But when it comes to Ned rigging, you got to get yourself a pack of these. I love them. They're great. All right, and at number 1, this is probably, this has got to be the most effective lure I've ever used for soft plastics. It is the Biospawn XO Ribbon. These things crush it. So much action on the tail, it is ridiculous. Also, like, all the Biospawns are enhanced with their Bioscent, but I swear to God, they put like double the amount on the XO ribbons. I don't know what it is, but they're always coated. And I swear, the second I throw them in, I'm getting bites immediately. So I always basic Texas rig them. That's the only way I ever do them. I never really add weights to any of my Texas rigs because, again, there's a lot of grass in the ponds I fish at. But you don't even need a weight. Like, you just swim this thing along, really slow retrieve, because the tail doesn't need movement to move. Like, the current in the water moves it enough. And I'm just, like, trust me, I've caught some of my biggest fish on these things. I've also caught like most of my winter fish on these things because when it's really like slow in December, like there's been times where I'm like, all right, I'll just chuck this on and I'll get a bite within 5 minutes. I think it's a combination of the scent, but also the colors are all really great. My personal favorite is the red one. I don't know which one specifically. They don't really put their colors on the, oh, there it is. It's candy red blue flake. There you go. The more you know. These are my personal favorite colors, but there's also a ton of other ones. The black and blue ones also crush it. They also have like this electric blue color that's lighter with black flakes. That one also destroys. My favorite color personally is this red and blue flake one. You get yourself a pack of these, I promise you'll be crushing it. Hopefully the video didn't go 20% battery. That sucks. But yeah, get yourself a pack of these. They're my favorite lure ever, hands down. Biospawn in general is my favorite brand. Ketchco like crushes it with the Biospawn line of lures. But yeah, basic Texas rig, chuck them out, you'll catch fish fast. So yeah, that's my top 5. I know I went through them a little quick, but don't want to drag it out too long. I'm also thinking, if this video does well, I'll do the same thing with like crankbaits and whatnot. But yeah, just trying to hold out until, pre-spawn and everything thaws out, which hopefully comes sooner rather than later, because I'm sure like everyone else, you just want to get back out on the water and catch some hogs. But that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.